Hello to all of our friends with the Oakville Festivals of Film and Art. Welcome to this very special package, a connection to the end of our fall screening series and our screening last week of Sophie Derasp's Shepherds. My name is Tyler Collins. I'm one of the hosts here with the Oakville Film Festival. I'm also one of the arts writers for Oakville News, where you can read us online for free every day at oakvillenews.org. Now, we've had a wonderful fall season screening four films, all featuring the work of Canadian female directors. And we had our last show about a week ago where we had the great chance to screen Shepherds at Film.ca cinemas in our series sponsored by both Film.ca cinemas and Sheridan College. But for those of you who joined us, we had an unfortunate technical glitch at the end where we didn't get to do our live Q&A that we normally like to host. However, we have a special Christmas present just for you to end the holiday season and the movie going for 2024. We are once again joined by our guest, and now we get to do this special Q&A about the movie Shepherds and provide it to you as our thank you for all your support of our movie going and the not-for-profit work that OFFA does throughout the year. So, joining me this afternoon for a conversation, we have got the star actor. He played Mathias in the movie of Shepherds. Félix-Antoine Duval is zooming in to take some of your questions here for this afternoon. Bonjour, Félix. Thank you so
Hi.
much for joining us for the
Well,
movie, for this chat.
oh, it's such a pleasure. Ho ho ho. Happy holidays to everyone. First time I'm ever introduced as a Christmas gift. I'll take it. Yeah.
You are a very handsome Christmas gift.
Oh,
That's you're certainly a better looking one than I am because this is the best I've got to offer.
you're gorgeous.
Thank you, Felix.
There you go.
So everyone watching this has had a chance to see the movie and see a lot of your interactions you had with the large ensemble, both human and sheep. My first question, before we get to some of the audience questions, I've got a couple myself. The first is, what was your first impression when you were approached with the story of Shepherds and the book D'où viens-tu, Bergère, which is the autobiography that the movie is based on?
Yeah. Do you have like 3 hours? It's been a really long process. The first edition goes back to November 2019.
Wow.
So
So this,
yeah,
this has been almost a 5-year journey from start to finish.
absolutely. So yeah, a couple months later, well, I don't know if you recall, but everything crashed. So yeah, so the whole project was put on the ice, and I remember meeting with Sophie in the first premiere movie party that we could attend to during the pandemic. That was back in 2021, if I'm correct. And I was like, "Hey, Sophie, hi. So how's it? How are you? How is this Shepherd things going?" And yeah, so she had to tell me that, yeah, of course, the whole thing was put on hold because of the pandemic and stuff. But she said, yeah, you were really great. Your audition was beautiful and stuff. I'm not entirely sure that it's you, like that you are Matthias, but I keep you in my head for another project, that's for sure. So what I like to say as a joke is it's been so long that she had the time to actually tell me that I wasn't the one, to finally, like, a couple of years later, like, the we were able to shoot overseas only in 2023. So the movie was back on track. Another audition round. I was now a young 30 something instead of an old 20 something. So that's what she had in mind for the part. She got to see Saint Narcisse, Bruce LaBruce's feature film we shot in Montreal in 2019 also. So she was able to see a little bit more of me, of what I've done in the past and stuff. And then I had another little part, like a third round, very small third audition round, just to confirm some stuff with the French producers, and and then I was confirmed as Matthias. So it's been, I'd say it's, I didn't spend all this time waiting for an answer because I knew it was put on the ice, but it's certainly, I don't know, it's a wide and long journey, and it's still going on right now. Now that the movie's out here in Quebec. Uh, yeah, so I think, like, lots of people ask me what was your favorite thing to do and what was your favorite part in the whole thing, and I was like, well, to get the part, that was really it. Yeah.
So once you got the part,
Yeah.
what were some of the questions you first had reading the script? Once you landed the job and said, okay, this is now, I have the responsibility of telling this author's story. What are some of the things I'm going to need to learn how to do? Because
Um,
it's not just a normal acting challenge, right? You're reenacting some real world profession.
yeah. It was um very good question. It was so something was bugging me in the script because it's it wasn't so complicated. Like, you didn't have any flashbacks and stuff to like, everything was pretty much easy to get to fathom. What was unfathomable was the places where we would do that. Like, okay, I'm auditioning here in Montreal, but I have to convince myself that I'm in a broken shack in the middle of the Alps. Um, so that was that, to fathom what we were actually, like, we were actually going to France to shoot that. That was, the bridge had to I would discover all the stuff, like, only when I would hear three, two, one, action. Like, and of course I had to learn how to I had to get acquainted. Is that to
You had to get you had to get comfortable.
yeah, to get comfortable. Thank you. I had to get comfortable. I arrived in France like 10 days prior to shooting to get comfortable with a herd. I've never seen a sheep in my life, so I had to get comfortable with these, and to create some kind of a link with my dog, Ola,
That's
which,
right. So I forgot about that, but you have another animal acting partner with your dog who
yeah.
it sounds like you've been working for ages with. What was that like doing training, not just with the sheep, but with the dogs as well?
It's really so that's something we were told in theater school. Like, whenever you play with animals and babies, you better be really good, or really true, because they are not acting, they're being. So yeah, it's what but when you know how to work your way around this essence of truth, you manage to it tells you how to actually behave. You don't have to deliver anything. You just have to wander around what they give you and their movements and stuff, and to use that, of course, and to accept the fact that you really are, your job is to be impacted by everything that surrounds you. Yeah.
And I think in relationship too, a lot of the movie is about the honesty of your relationships with nature and with people. So I think that translates really well into the movie that you ended up making.
Yeah, to go back to this real social interaction, like the true social media which is existence. I don't know how to call it, but like the real. And there's this beautiful scene also that part of the movie where you see the herd climbing up the mountain, and the Juju, the other shepherd, he's like, you see, Matthias, they remember the intelligence of the herd. Like it's they remember the oldest ones just follow the path they've always followed, and the younger ones, they just follow they're sheeps, of course, but I don't know, it's a web. But it's a real one. Yeah.
One of the most popular questions we got from the audience who came to our screening in person at the theater was wanting to know what are some of the tactical things you had to do working with sheep? What are some of the classes? What are some of the workshops you had to do? What was that training like learning to be with the sheep?
Yeah, we had rehearsals. We all got to try to catch one, to catch a sheep, within in the farm, within the farm, because otherwise you could be running all day and not catch a single sheep because it flows. The animals, they don't want to get caught. But once you catch one, and you know how to work your way, like they showed us how to you have to grab the back the leg that's at the back of the animal, and then you grab the underarm, and then you flip it, and then you take the front legs and you just put them up, and you hold them between your knees, and so the sheep is like so she stuck like that, and she's not moving. So you can take off the dirt out of her foot.
Yeah,
And
their hoofs.
yeah, so we had to do that. And that was really useful because at the end, when we're in the mountain, at the mountain, there was a shot where a scene where I had to catch one with my stick, my shepherd stick, and but we were in the mountain, so not in a farm. Like this could go like uh what's the funniest videos? Like America's
America's Funniest Home Videos.
yeah, I would hear the music. But I was really successful. It was I was blessed. Like I had three shots, and I got to catch three sheep. So I was like, yeah, okay, I did my homeworks. Um, so that, and to lead, also to send the dog to circle the herd and bring it back to you. That had to I had to learn that as well. I went like a whole afternoon. No, that was the morning. The whole morning, just getting comfortable with how it works. Really, you have to send. There's a word you have to. There's a distinct movement that you have with your arm that you have to do, and you say, okay, away, and they use English words like it was away and come by. Yeah, come by. Yeah, I can't remember now. It's been
Sure.
too long. But you had to send the dog, and how it works is those dogs, by the way, um, they see a sheep and they become like they really become like,
Hypnotized.
oh yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I remember seeing the sight,
Mhm.
and it it only waits for you to give the command. Okay, go away. Boom, and you see that in a movie. There's $1 million shot where we're kind of nervous. Elise and I were like, okay, we do that. Okay, we can go
Oh,
now.
I remember. So you're planning because you're doing a work tryout to be allowed to go up to the mountains, right? So
That's
the
the
owner
one.
is asking, okay, can you corral these sheep and bring them back into the barn?
Yeah, yeah, the barn. Yeah, thanks. I'm learning. But yeah,
Your
that
English is better than my French. Don't worry even for a second.
So yeah, that was really helpful. And when I saw the film, I'd forgotten that we managed to do that for real. Of course, the real owner, like Ola's owner, was there with his whistle, sorry, just to break the magic. But he was there to actually feed the dog. But you hear none of that in the movie, of course. But everything you see is for real. Like you really see the herd uh, forming and then coming towards us. And yeah, that was so crazy. So yeah, leading the herd and catching a sheep. Uh, yeah.
One of the questions that we got from the audience, they wanted to ask about the scene where you begin the trek to the Alp Mountains. That
Yep.
first day when you're working with 800 sheep, actually walking them through the village, the town square in France. What was that experience like going through a real city, just suddenly walking beside 800 sheep? Because
Oh,
in movies and TV, we have human extras all the time. And working with one animal or one sheep or one dog is one thing. But what was it like with hundreds and hundreds of sheep in like a public place?
again, do you have 3 hours? I could be going on like for so long. So yeah, the prep played a big part in this whole thing, like the contact with the shepherds. Um, these guys, they don't need us. We need them. So we had to adapt to them. Like we shot with real shepherds. You see Jean-Pierre at some point, like the guy who's got some long hair, like he's like the Mick Jagger of
The
Shepherd.
Mick Jagger of sheep.
Yeah, because he still does it walking. Today that part today is most of the time they do it like they load a truck with the whole with the sheeps and they drive to the mountain. But so that's commonly how it goes nowadays. But he is one of the remaining old pirates who walks his way like for 17 days towards the Alps. Uh, and he walks into villages and stuff, and they know we don't have much of that here in Canada, but in France, they really know that they have this reference. It's been there forever, so they know it's a thing. And the villages they know it's like it's a whole party. The
Mhm.
whole town stops. Of course, sometimes you have those crazy people who won't stop driving even if they see a herd. That's been that.
Yeah, it's the people first. Get out of my way, sheep.
Yeah, yeah, those are like
Wow.
anyway, yeah, it's been seen that happened, but most of the time people know, they know it's a thing. And then you have those Jean-Pierre would tell some old like war stories where, oh yeah, this guy I had to last year I gave him like 100 euros, but this year he might not be so willing for me to cross his house like and stuff.
So he
Um,
was getting paid off to say, "Hey, can we let our sheep pass through here?" So yeah,
Sometimes.
there's a sheep toll. You gotta pay the fee if you want to walk the sheep.
Yeah. And in the
Wow.
movie we say 800, but in the real life Jean-Pierre has 3,000.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of sheep.
Yeah. And that
Okay.
was a lot of we had to adapt like uh Sophie shot lots of documentaries.
Mm.
So she was ready. It was part of her cinema language for the like it was part of as her idea. Yeah.
I think so much of the movie, I think, is also in relationship with the country of France, and you as a Canadian actor playing a Canadian character relating to the French culture of Europe as opposed to Canada here. I'm curious to know what was your favorite part about working in France, and what was the biggest challenge of working in that environment?
Um, Favorite part, food.
I can't even imagine. Oh,
Uh,
of course.
yeah, no,
Best
not
you ate.
not necessarily, but yeah, the food was delightful.
What was the best thing you ate?
Um, oh man, all of it. But one thing I now order in restaurants here is burrata, like this bowl of cheese.
Yeah, the soft cheese.
Yeah, on a bed of tomatoes. Like I didn't know at all that this thing existed before I shot Berger. I
Yeah.
shot Shepherds. So yeah, the food was awesome. But I'd
What was the
say,
big, what was the biggest challenge?
yeah, the biggest challenge. Well, some people told me I've been asked, how did you like the French folks here in Montreal, they'd be like, "Hey, okay, you're going in south of France. Well, get ready because they got a hell of an accent there." And I was like, I don't mind. Like they French folks are like, oh, if you're not from Paris, you can't play the high fancy characters and stuff. And I'm like, I was raised in La Beauce, which is an hour south of Quebec City, and we have a hell of an accent there. And I wasn't scared at all. No, it's quite the opposite, actually. I really like to hear how people talk. It's so sweet. I think it's a beautiful phenomenon, like that it's true for every part of the world, where, like even in the States and stuff. Uh, but biggest challenge? Okay. Here's a funny thing. Shepherds is my second movie, second feature film, and in both occasions, both with Saint Narcisse and with Shepherds, it took me like a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks to really uh, get on my tracks to
Okay.
find. Yeah, um, that's the way I explain it, the way I see it is maybe I've been working a lot in Quebec TV and now I've done enough now that when I read a breakdown nowadays, I can tell who's gonna watch it. And okay, it's directed by this person and it's gonna be broadcasted to this channel and stuff. So, there's something like there's a square that like much faster, even if you don't think about it, you know what you're gonna answer to um, in the imaginary spectrum
Oh,
of the audience. Oh yeah, okay, this one's gonna be the bad guy. Okay, she's gonna be the good girl, and he's gonna take care of her and stuff. Oh, that's gonna happen. But when you make a film, that type of thing, um, that square in the weekly program, it doesn't exist. So you really start from scratch. You really create something from beginning to end. Um, and you don't especially know who's gonna watch it unless you do some like Marvel superhero movies and stuff. But if you do,
that's pretty rare. When you're, I hear you. When you're making an average story, you don't always know who's going to respond to it and who's going to
right.
choose to watch it.
Yeah, and I think it has to be true for everyone on the set. Like we're also uh, beginning to w- we're learning how to work with each other. Like we're learning to walk basically, and I think that happened, and that happened to me in both on Saint Narcisse and on Shepherd. And on Shepherd, it was like. The day I found my track was the day we shot with the guy who plays Ahmed,
Hmm.
um, with the skiing
Yeah,
stick.
a total scene stealer.
Yeah,
Especially you guys in the kitchen when he's cooking you dinner and you guys start fighting. He's unbelievably funny. What a great character.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's great. And that scene, like that day, in the morning, he engaged the conversation with me, like, "Hey Felix, how you doing?" First, and then how do you perceive our characters and stuff? And um, I don't know, he wanted to share with me his vision of his part, which I hadn't. I'm really fond of this type of conversation, but for an unknown reason, I didn't had the time to really sit with we had a team reading,
Mhm.
team
A
table.
table read.
Yeah, we had table read with everyone, but w- uh, one like one on one, I didn't have the opportunity to share those things. And then when he engaged the conversation, we he he opened my mind on a wider spectrum, like, of understanding the part, like, oh wow, these characters are um total opposites. Like, he didn't choose to be a shepherd. He had to leave. He became a shepherd because he had no choice. He had to survive. So he had to believe in God in order to go on and to survive and stuff. And on the other mm, side of the table, you have Matthias, who chose to step out of the comfort, or of the North American comfort, which is the dream. Like, it's Ahmed's dream to go there. So, like, they're really opposite on so many points, and they happen to meet there. And I was like, wow, okay, thank you for telling me all that stuff that I hadn't seen. And I felt kind of dumb when we had this conversation. Oh, damn. And when we shot that scene, I remember, like, we, the scene ended. Okay, cut. We got it. Moving on. Actually, the day's done. It's a wrap and stuff. And I remember everyone was like, "Oh, something just happened." And from we had other challenges after that, but from that day on, uh, I really felt like I had found the path.
Now you were talking about the relationship of people connecting and choosing to watch the movie. Now that it's been released in some cinemas, and you guys had your premiere in September at TIFF, where you, by the way, won Best Canadian Film. Congratulations to you and the entire
Thank
cast. What has that response been like from the audience now that the movie's come out into the world? How have people told you they've responded to it?
It's pretty much it's pretty much on the same page that, like, that's a beautiful thing. Like, the critics, people from the business, like colleagues, and even my family and the audience and stuff, everyone is on the same page pretty much. It's like, you have steps. Okay, we shot it. Okay, we know we've done something cool. Now, how will be the editing? Where you uh, are they going to craft the movie, or going to?
How's it going to take it from dailies into the final product? What's that going to be like?
Yeah, you have steps and stuff and checkpoints, and then we had the premiere, and it was like awesome. And then the theatrical release, and that is also it's going pretty well. I think we're shy from a $1 million box office in Quebec, which is like really huge.
For
uh
Canada and for just even a Quebec box office, that's significant.
Yeah, it is really significant. And now the next checkpoint will be the France release. Uh, it's coming out in April. I don't know why it's so late, but it gives us the time to prep for it. But yeah, so far the movie's has been so it's pretty much acclaimed, should I say? And that's a good news, because I knew it was not your typical. Well, I think it's in a beautiful place, because it's both niche and accessible, I'd say. Like, and it's you feel good. I don't know how you felt when you watched it, but lots of people tell me, "Hey, wow, it's my heart is full right now," even
I
though.
felt, my impression was I felt curious. I
uh,
felt curious and I felt motivated. And I
right.
thought interesting decisions. and what an interesting set of events, and what an interesting world of people I've never met before.
Yeah.
Wow, I like this idea that you can have principles even in a very humble place.
Oh, wow, that's so beautiful. You can have principles even in a very humble. What do you mean by principles?
I so much to me of Matthias's story is choosing what is it I want to prioritize. And my parents always told me that you can tell what's important to someone by how they spend their time. And he chose to stop his career in finance. He chose to stop living in the city in Canada and said, I want to connect with fewer people with more time. I
Mm.
want to connect with nature. I want to connect with writing, which excites me. And so he had discipline and principles where he said, these are the things that matter to me. I'm going to choose to make them important.
Yeah.
And that's to me was that's what I left the theater thinking. Here is an example of how you can improve your day-to-day life if you're brave enough to choose what's important for you.
We
Even if that thing is sheep.
you could.
Sometimes you don't have to. It's interesting. I've just thought of this though. It's interesting. Sheep are always known to follow the herd and follow the flock, and yet here's the story of the shepherd Matthias, who is totally going against the whole herd, and it's him confusing everybody that he's suddenly deviating away.
Jesus, do you have a mic you could drop or something? Because
I've,
it's so
I've, yeah, I've got my phone. That's kind of the
yeah, drop it. Go ahead.
yeah. But I'm glad to hear you've had the reception personally too from your family and colleagues, and I think it's well deserved. You and the team, you led by Sophie, of course, but you in a wonderful lead performance and a great testament to Canadian cinema.
Oh,
We over time we've gone a little longer than we wanted to, but I think a wonderful chat and great to hear about some of your experiences shooting this very unique and original movie.
right.
For all of our audiences at home, I know he can't see or hear you, but please give your love and thanks to Mr. Félix-Antoine Duval and the entire cast and crew of Shepherds. This is going to conclude our program for the fall screening series for 2024 here in Oakville. We hope that you will join us for some of our live events beginning in January for the winter screening series at film.ca cinemas. And of course, the annual Oakville Film Festival, which has its date set of June 18th to the 24th here in Oakville, Canada. We hope you will come and join us. To all of our audience and all of our subscribers, all of our ticket buyers, all of our supporters, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas and we hope you get a sheep in your stocking.
Oh, that's a good one. I also have a good one.
Oh, go for it.
So I just want to invite everyone to stay, remain. I don't know which verb I should use here, but I think we should always remain good shepherds.
Hmm.
That's all I have to
Take
say.
that this holiday season. Stay a good shepherd. And if you like the movie, you love the movie, tell your friends, tell your family. It's out in Quebec cinemas now. It is opening in select cinemas across Canada in January, coming to France in April, and coming soon to a farmyard near you. Be a shepherd this holiday season.
There you
That
go.
is our hope and our love for you. Thank you to all of our supporters with the Oakville Film Festival, and we'll see you in 2025. Again, Félix, merci encore. Thank you for being here with us for this special video event.
Ça a été un plaisir. It's been a pleasure. Merci beaucoup. And until we see you again. Bye.
Until again, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bye.